hello there. Creative talent will get you in the room, but bad manners will make sure you're not invited back. I'm Jacob Webster, also known as JPW, and you're watching Creative Etiquette, the course that teaches you how not to be that person on set. So grab your tea, grab your biscuits, and maybe even your notes app because you might want to write this down. Let's get to sipping. On the menu for today's Creative Etiquette, I have a 17-course tasting for industry excellence, so let's get into it. Let's see what we have for tip 1. Ooh, yummy, client carpaccio, my favorite. This tip means that your client is not your friend. Eventually, over time, you guys can become friends, but when you're first entering that environment, you should be there strictly for business, and that's it. Don't hit them up, don't try to be their best friend, don't be calling them, don't try to go out with them. If you want this to be a long-term thing, then be there for business. Tip 2. Name drop nachos. So I like this one because when you go on set, you should not be mentioning previous projects you've worked on, people you know, people that you have worked with. You shouldn't be mentioning movies they've worked on, songs they've dropped. You should be cool, calm, and collected. Don't be fanned out. And when you're fanned out, that immediately lets somebody know that they do not want to work with you and they don't want to step into an environment where they feel like they have to put a guard up. Let's look at tip 3. Timeline tart. So when you're working on a project, you should always let somebody know when to expect their deliverables. So whether it's 48 hours, a week from now, just let them know and be a clear communicator. Tip 4, warm welcome wedges. Ooh. So when you go on set, whether you're a photographer, videographer, or assistant, try to go around the room and introduce yourself to everyone. Try to learn names because relationships are very important and just make people feel seen. Tip 5, tag-free tartar. So one thing that's important is just knowing that a tag is not guaranteed, it's a privilege. So don't try to chase after somebody for a tag. You know, sometimes you won't get tagged if you're paid for a project, that's okay. But just know your moment will always come and you can always find your own community in that way. So you can go share online to Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. You can find engagements and audience in some way. You don't always have to be tagged and expect a tag from somebody. Tip 6, consent caviar. So when you're on set and you're a photographer or a hairstylist, makeup artist, and you may happen to need to touch somebody or something, just ask for consent and say, hey, do I have consent to touch you? Do I have consent to fix your hair? Just be polite and be safe and just ask. Tip 7, overpacked finesse. One thing I've learned over the years is that you should always pack more than you need. There have been so many times where I've gone on set and I forgot batteries or I forgot an extra light or whatever, and then I'm like, oh shoot, I should have packed more. Just pack more to be safe, and ever since I've internalized that, I'm always good to go. Tip 8, 24-hour filet, yum. So whenever I'm shooting, I do an event or I work with somebody, I always send the photos within 24 hours so that they can just have them and they can kind of make their selection on their own versus waiting 48 hours for you and they're like, hey, where are the pictures? Send them as soon as they can so that it's on them and balls in their court so that they can send them over whenever they get a chance to. You edit them and then you can catch the next news cycle, whether it's that evening, the next morning, just be as fast as possible. Let's see what we have for tip 9. Ego-free entree. I always say leave your ego and check your attitude at the door. Leave the ego at home. That's one thing I always say. Just leave it at home. Don't even bring it on set because nobody wants to deal with it. Tip 10, the silent souffle. Know when not to shoot and know when to shut the hell up. That's it. Read the room. What's next? Roll out risotto. Yum. Make sure to credit your team with intention. So if you're rolling on a project, go to your notes app and type out all the credits beforehand, maybe like the week before or whatever. Or if you're on set, try to get all the credits right then and there so that when it's time to roll out your project, you have all your credits ready to go and people feel included and they don't feel like their time was wasted. Tip 12, private polenta. I always say that discretion is key. If you're working on a private set or going to a celebrity's house, make sure to turn off your location because people don't need to know where they live at. I don't know who has your location, who's checking it. Turn your location off and be discreet. And that also would be breaking your NDA. So just make sure to turn off the location and stop sharing with people. What do we have here? Tip 13, the prep platter. So whenever you arrive to a shoot, make sure to arrive with a shot list ready to go and poses that you already have in your mind that you want to do. This makes the shoot process so seamless and so easy, and then you're good to go. Tip 14, dress code duck. So when you arrive to set, make sure that you are dressed appropriately and professionally. You should not be wearing, high heels or a crop top. Make sure that you are looking well, presentable, and nice, preferably all black, so that if you're caught on camera, somebody can recognize that you are a crew member. Space-saving sorbet. Tip 15. Make sure when you're on set, you don't crowd or hover over the photographer at their workstation. That's something that drives me insane. That's my biggest pet peeve, and I know a lot of other photographers have complained about that. Back up and try to stay in your station. You're gonna see the photos, you can always ask later, but just try to give them space because when you're working, you know, you're locked in and ready to go, so just try not to bother people. Courtesy creme brulee, yum, I love creme brulee. So when you are working with somebody, you're gonna post something, a lot of times, you know, photographers, we may hold a project for like 3 months, 6 months, or a year. Before you go to post online, make sure to just let somebody know. Sometimes I'll post something a year later or whatever. I'll just go and tell the hairstylist, makeup artist, and the talent like, hey, I'm about to go post this, letting you know, giving you a heads up. And it's just courteous and kind and respectful, and I think it kind of catches people off guard sometimes when they're posted without them knowing. So just let them know, that's all it takes. What are you still doing there? Stay booked, stay classy, and remember, talent opens doors, but etiquette keeps in the room. I'm JPW, and you're watching Creative Etiquette.